You're watching East Texas News at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. East Texans are on alert after an uncommon but highly contagious disease is being identified in Texas. 2 outbreaks of the mumps are being investigated in North Texas, one linked to several cheerleading competitions. East Texas News' Francesca Washington is here. And Fran, I understand some East Texas squads competed there.
Yeah, this is a copy of one of the letters that one East Texas cheer coach received from the Department of State Health Services saying you or your child may have been exposed to a person with the mumps at the NCAA Holiday Classic. The 4 competitions where the exposure might have happened are the NCAA North Texas Classic, Dallas Platinum Championship, NCAA Holiday Classic, and the SC Christmas Classic. Thankfully, as of now, no cases have been confirmed in East Texas. The D&D Flyers compete in about 6 competitions each year, with the hopes of taking home one thing, first place. But after this past couple of months of competing, head coach Renee Allen is just thankful all of her athletes are healthy.
I think we're in the clear. I don't think any of my cheerleaders have been infected.
Allen says on November 6th, the cheer team competed in the NCAA North Texas Classic, and on December 3rd, the Holiday Classic. And on December 20th, Allen says she was notified about potential exposure to someone with the mumps.
4 or 5 different floors going on where you're warming up your tumbling and your stunts and your routines, and you're in pretty close contact with other teams.
Net health officials say the mumps is highly contagious.
If you're feeling sick or you have some symptoms come up, to check with your doctor, your healthcare provider, to make sure you get treated and see what you have.
But Allen says for competitive athletes, that's not always their first priority because they don't want to let down their teammates.
Well, we've had girls that have come running a slight fever, having a stomach ache, so I can see how maybe this person wasn't aware yet that they had the mumps. They just didn't feel good and showed up for the competition.
Health experts say symptoms of the mumps are high fever, muscle aches, fatigue, and swelling of the salivary glands. People usually develop symptoms 14 to 18 days after being exposed, but it can be as long as 25 days. Again, the main symptom is the swelling of the salivary glands.
All right, thank you so much, Francesca. Net health officials say that there are mumps vaccinations for children and also for adults who may have never been vaccinated for that virus. Anyone suspected of having mumps should stay home while they are contagious. Now to a breaking news update at 4. We show you authorities are searching in the waters after a military helicopter crashed southeast of Houston. Now a fire marshal tells our ABC affiliate in Houston that this appears to be a recovery operation. If you're familiar with this area, this is happening in Trinity Bay near Kemah and LaPorte. It's not known where this chopper is based or what it was doing at the time of the crash. A witness says the chopper went into a tailspin before crashing into the water. An East Texas man is being held on a $3.5 million bond for allegedly killing his own wife. Daniel Joseph Scott was arrested shortly after midnight and is charged with murdering his wife, 29-year-old Alicia Scott. We're told she died from a gunshot wound. Daniel Scott remains in custody in the Henderson County Jail. Scott was arrested for an outstanding warrant arrest, which stemmed from an assault charge out of Henderson County as well. A person was rushed to the hospital after being stabbed this morning. It happened at the intersection of Peach Street and 3rd Street in North Athens. The Henderson County Sheriff's Department got the call first and then sent the case to Athens Police. Athens Police say the victim did not have major injuries. Convicted church shooter Dylan Roof back in court today in South Carolina. Roof, who is representing himself in the sentencing phase, said he will not be calling any witnesses or present any evidence. Earlier this month, he was convicted of killing 9 black church members in a racially motivated attack. Roof is reportedly trying to keep secret potentially embarrassing evidence about himself and his family. That evidence was not revealed in the 30-minute hearing today. The punishment phase is set to start next Tuesday in Charleston. A Texan was at President-elect Trump's Florida resort today for a meeting. Former Texas A&M University President Dr. Elisa Moreno met with Trump for a possible spot in his administration. Reports have the former USDA official being considered for Agriculture Secretary. Another Texan taking the trip to Florida will be current State Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller. Miller, who is known for his controversial social media post, is slated to be in Florida on Friday. He will be meeting with Trump's chief of staff, Reince Priebus and Chief Strategist Steve Bannon. There was no mention if Miller will meet with the president-elect. Another Texan rumored to be considered for Ag Secretary is former Texas Comptroller Susan Combs. As he continues to build his cabinet, Trump also continues his steady stream of tweets. He has had more than 200 since Election Day, some of the latest taking aim at President Obama and taking credit for recent good economic news.
In typical Donald Trump fashion, most of what he communicates is done from a visceral place without, I think, a lot of strategic thought in it.
The other Trump tweets were recent about UN vote against the expansion of Israeli settlements. Trump's tweet told Israel to stand strong. January 20 is approaching. Israel accused the U.S. of orchestrating the UN vote. The U.S. abstained, but Secretary of State John Kerry said the U.S. could not in good conscience stop the resolution.
The two-state solution is the only way to achieve a just and lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians. It is the only way to ensure Israel's future as a Jewish and democratic state, living in peace and security with its neighbors. The vote in the United Nations was about preserving the two-state solution.
In response to Kerry, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Kerry attacked the only democracy in the Middle East and, quote, Israelis do not need to be lectured about the importance of peace by foreign leaders. Breaking news now at 5. Actress Debbie Reynolds has been rushed to the hospital according to reports. Reynolds is the mother of actress Carrie Fisher, who died Tuesday after suffering a heart attack last week. She was reportedly at her son's house this afternoon when 911 was called after she possibly suffered a stroke. Tributes continue to pour in for Reynolds' daughter, the iconic Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher. And as our Cody Lillick reports, Fisher is being remembered for a legacy that stretches far beyond the role that catapulted her to superstardom.
As fans of Carrie Fisher continue to process the news of her death,
I was stunned.
They also can't help but to share why they fell in love with her.
She was amazing. I mean, first she was Princess Leia, but then she was Carrie Fisher. You know, she was a role model for people with messed up lives.
Known by the world for her role as Princess Leia, her influence spread well beyond Star Wars.
I grew up going to that movie. I saw the first one in the theater, and it just makes me sad. I thought she was a really smart woman, a feminist, said what she was feeling and thinking, fought for mental health issues, so loss all around.
Tributes to Fisher are happening across the country. In San Francisco at Lucasfilm headquarters, a statue of Yoda looks down upon messages left by her fans. And in Hollywood,
I've seen fans walking around and talking about her and having flowers, but no real place to actually go and set them down and pay their respects for her.
Fans looking to pay homage to the actress surprised she doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame.
We wanted to just create something where they can do that.
So they gave her one. And across the country in New York, people dressed in Star Wars gear, a way to honor the woman they came to admire both on and off screen. Cody Lillick, East Texas News.
Fisher's funeral arrangements are still being finalized. Her brother says that we can expect the memorial to be a celebration of her life because Carrie always liked a good party. Malls across the country are stepping up security after fights. Hear what may be causing some of them. And if you're a rancher, hear what you may need for your herd at the start of the new year. Plus, they were the hot gift this year, the Hatchimal. But some kids are a little shell-shocked after their bird won't hatch.
That's not good. Well, conditions around here today, again, much warmer than I think most would like it to be for the end of December. But we finally started seeing some sunshine during the afternoon, and that has been a pleasant result, I suppose, of some of the warmer air. But that will be replaced by cooler air starting tonight. We'll give you details in a minute. First, though, Jacksonville High School in Jacksonville is our Grant Flannery Neighborhood Weather Net stop. Started off at 55, ended up at 74. Right now it's 73. A little breezy from time to time. And that forecast for you in a minute. Stick around.
First Alert Weather is sponsored by Tower Honda of Longview.
Well, during the middle part of the afternoon, we started seeing some rays of sunshine, and we have in Nacogdoches at Stephen F. Austin State University. You can see Homer Bryce Stadium there in the foreground. But we're likely to see clouds kind of build back in this evening and tonight as a cold front starts working its way into the northern parts of East Texas this evening, but should be through the entire area by the time the sun comes up tomorrow. And by the way, tomorrow should be a pretty nice day. Let's go ahead. And once again, we're looking at SFA. It's Homer Bryce Stadium, the football stadium there at Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches. It was actually just a few moments ago the sun was shining, but you can see it went behind the clouds. First alert live Doppler radar not showing us anything, at least at this point, but we're going to start seeing a few showers developing as that front works its way from north to south through the area this evening and tonight. Not expecting a lot of rain, not even really expecting any much lightning and thunder. There could be a thunder shower that develops with that frontal boundary, but not expecting anything to become severe. The atmosphere is not unstable enough. 75 Tyler, 73 Longview, 76 in Lufkin, still 79 in Terrell. It's 80 degrees in the Dallas area. We will see cooler temperatures though tomorrow. Not maybe as cool as you would like, but they will be cooler. Dave Jones, our weather watcher at Holly Lake Ranch, is reporting 73 degrees right now. The cool spot 71 from Edie and Longview. We've got a 76 in Broadus, a couple of 77s being reported from Dan McElhaney and Crockett, also in the Huntington area. So low to mid 70s for the most part. 7 o'clock tonight, maybe the northern parts of Hunt, maybe parts of Delta, northern Hopkins, we'll see that front. And again, notice this is really just rain. If we see any stronger storms, it's likely to be over Arkansas or Louisiana. But the front should sweep through by midnight tonight, all the way through the Tyler, Longview, Jacksonville area. Say from Center to maybe Wells on over into areas near Crockett, where the front should be at about midnight tonight. And then by the time we get to say 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, should be through all of East Texas, leaving us with a partly cloudy sky, which will be nice to see for one day, because then we start seeing those clouds coming back into the eastern parts of the state of Texas during the day on Friday. We'll probably see some sun, but you can see more dense cloud cover late in the day on Friday and even on Saturday. Late Saturday night, Sunday morning, another front's expected to move in, and there will be a fairly good chance of seeing some rain, at least at that point. So 8 o'clock tonight, about a 30% chance for rain right along the cold front, and that'll be just generally the northern counties. 10 o'clock tonight, northern and central counties could see some showers and maybe a thunder shower down to 58, 46 in the morning. I just want to let you know that deep East Texas, the southern parts of the area, are going to be much warmer than these values, probably closer to, say, 53, 54 degrees, and probably in the lower to middle 60s for highs tomorrow. But then you'll kind of catch up to the northern areas on Friday, where we should drop into the mid-30s and mid-50s for highs. And again, partly to mostly cloudy skies. And again, on Saturday, at least in the afternoon, about a 50-50 shot for more showers and maybe a thunderstorm associated with that front as it makes its way through very early on New Year's Day. Not expecting a lot of really chilly air, but what I did want you to notice here on Tuesday, as that front moves through, it'll bring a chance for some rain in the morning, maybe a few kind of lingering during the day on Wednesday. But temperatures staying in the 40s all day long next Wednesday. For those of you that like the chillier air and making it feel like the holiday season, well, you may have to wait till Wednesday for that to happen. But at least, Jennifer, it is in the 7-day forecast now. Although, you know, on Friday morning it'll be in the mid-30s. If you wake up early, you'll experience the cool temperatures.
All right. Thanks so
You're
much,
welcome.
Mark. New regulations will soon be affecting livestock owners across the state. To help reduce the amount of antibiotics and drugs in animal meat, owners will now have to have prescriptions for medicated feed and other injectable drugs. The hope is to improve meat quality for consumers. While it may be an inconvenience for owners, vets are saying it is better in the long run.
Whenever we have drugs in, especially in food animal, particularly cattle, there are certain labels on those drugs with certain withdrawal times as to what we as veterinarians can use them for, how we can use them, what their withdrawal time is before that animal can be sent to slaughter.
In order to get the prescription, owners will have to have vets first check out their animals. Social media creating a viral spree of fights at malls across the country. Ahead, the steps some malls are taking to make sure their customers stay safe and avoid mall mayhem.
The only thing she wanted for Christmas was a Hatchimal.
But what her child ended up with was one rotten egg. How her popular gift went wrong ahead on East Texas News at 5. Security at shopping malls across the country are still on alert following a second night of mayhem and disturbances in at least 9 states. And as our Doug Murray reports, social media may have helped fuel the panic in some of the instances.
More chaos and confusion at shopping malls. Just a day after more than a dozen disturbances were reported in malls across the country.
First, I thought it wasn't really real because we've had alarms go off and stuff.
Police in Appleton, Wisconsin had to evacuate the Fox River Mall Tuesday night over a report of a person with a gun.
I was kind of freaking out. I was like, what's going on? You know, something this big has never happened before.
That person was never found, but police say they are still investigating. Meanwhile, in Pennsylvania,
they were running around, they were shouting, yelling, screaming.
Police say they had to break up a large fight inside the food court of the Philadelphia Mills Mall.
These teenagers, these juveniles were able to get on social media, specifically Snapchat, and they were able to all meet up at this location.
In Aurora, Colorado on Monday, dozens of officers responded to another fight inside a mall food court. This involving as many as 500 people. Authorities say they don't know yet if all the incidents are related, but do believe social media posts promoting fights at the malls sparked some of these brawls. Doug Murray, East Texas News.
In response, malls across the country are stepping up security, and some are even implementing a new policy to prevent kids from shopping without adults. They were the gift of the year for kids across the country. We're talking about the Hatchimal, which is supposed to be an egg that hatches a bird-looking creature for children. That's how it's supposed to work, but several parents are angry after giving the eggs for Christmas only to have it not hatch. For one family, the Christmas joy they were expecting turned into Christmas disappointment.
It took us 2 days, still nothing, and then it would come on and then go right back off. So I thought, well, maybe the batteries are dead. So last night we ended up just breaking it open.
The purpose of it is to watch it hatch, and you know, they didn't get to watch it hatch. So that was, I mean, it's a Hatchimal. That's what it's supposed to do.
That family took matters into their own hands and busted the bird free themselves. The company, Spin Master, issued a statement on Facebook today saying, while the vast majority of children have had a magical experience with Hatchimals, we have also heard from consumers who have encountered challenges, and we are 100% committed to bringing the magic of Hatchimals to all of our consumers. The company also said they are increasing the number of customer support representatives and their hours to help frustrated customers. If you are having problems with your Hatchimal, we've linked to the company's tips for what to do. Just head over to the Big Red Box on KLTV.com or KTRE.com, and there you will find the link, what to do if your Hatchimal won't hatch. Back to that breaking news that we have been following since 4 o'clock. The crash of a military helicopter in the Trinity Bay, southeast of Houston. On the right, you can see a photo just into our Houston ABC affiliate. It appears to be a blade from the helicopter lodged into the ground just feet away from the shore. The Coast Guard and military are investigating this crash. A fire marshal says it does appear to be a recovery operation. If you're familiar with this area, this is between Kemah and LaPorte. It's not known where that chopper was based or what it was doing at the time of the crash. We'll be right back. One company has quite the gift for its employees, a cruise for all 600 employees. The employees at Birch Cabinets in Waterloo, Iowa will soon be on the water after quite the gift. The company says it is a present for the staff meeting their year-end goals, so the Iowa shop will be closed for a week for all of the employees to trade in the Iowa winter for something a bit more tropical.
We finally got back in the black in 2015, and we thought it would be nice to try to get a incentive going again to get people fired up.
Motivated our sales department, you know, so we could meet the financial goal, which is our biggest goal.
And Birch Cabinet says it also has hired some more workers in the last year, and the current employees will take off on their cruise on January 8th, so they aren't left out.
So you think Brad and Pat are listening to this? Do you think they're watching that story?
Guys, they're on to something. I wonder if their families get to go, because it just says employees. We'll have to look into that.
Maybe there's a discount for that.
Right. Thanks for watching. Stay right here for the news at 6. And remember, you can always find the very latest news, weather, and sports 24/7 on our websites at KLTV and KTRE.com. Have a good night.